Are you thinking of using Apple Music for your DJ sets? Of course, they officially announced it recently that it is now compatible with software like Rekordbox and Serato. I actually have a subscription to Apple Music, and in this video, I am going to give you a quick tour of what it looks like if you choose to subscribe, and also give you some insights into the experience that you are going to have when using it as a DJ. Let's get into it. Okay, so welcome into Rekordbox. Now, one thing to bear in mind, you will need to download the latest version of Rekordbox, potentially in order to see the Apple Music widget, which you can see here just down the left-hand side on these small little icons there. Just going to move this bottom menu down just so that it's going to be easier to see. Right, so I have got an internet connection. Very, very important. At this current moment in time, you cannot DJ offline with Apple Music, unlike specialist DJ platforms like Beatport, BeatSource, and I think Tidal as well. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, but I think those ones. This does not support an offline music locker, so please do bear that in mind. You are going to have an internet connection. Simply click onto the Apple Music widget, and then it's very intuitive. You then have access to the whole Apple Music library. So you've got millions of tracks at your fingertips, and it works just like you would access Apple Music on your phone, on your tablet, or on your laptop. So we have the home page there. Please ignore my playlist. I've been weirdly listening to some country and I have no idea what. I've got Disney on there as well, and acoustic. So it's a bit of a mixture on there. But we have the home page. We've got some essential playlists down there. Notice it does take a couple of moments potentially to load certain things, and that is because, of course, we are connected to the internet. Be aware that there is potentially going to be some lag. Now, let's select some tracks just to show you what the experience is like DJing with Apple Music. So if we go up to the search for a particular artist, let's look for Eats Everything, for example. I quite like him. Notice it does take a few moments to load stuff. So look, loading Apple Music library, it is pretty quick. I have got a good internet connection, but that is absolutely key here. And say, for example, we want to play this particular track here, or this one here. You can then just drag and drop it like you would any other track and DJ away. It takes a couple of moments to import, and notice there we have no BPM information and we have no key information. That is, you can start playing the track immediately. So that's absolutely fine, but it will take a couple of moments to analyze the track. So if you are wanting to do very quick transitions and you need the analysis straight away, and you need to work everything out with regards to how you're going to transition from one track to the other, what I would recommend doing is making sure that you have played all of these tracks through Apple Music and through Rekordbox first, so that the analysis is there ready and waiting upon loading that track. Very, very key information. I would not recommend, waiting for that track information to be loaded when you are live, especially if the Wi-Fi is dodgy in the venue. It's bad enough that you have to stay online. What you don't want is delays with your track information being loaded. Once you have played a track for the first time, what you'll notice is if you come back to your main master music collection, all of those tracks will be loaded here into your main collection. So you see here the little Apple Music icon, so you can see that that's where those tracks have come from, but they are in your collection. And as I mentioned before, if I drag and drop that track again, the analysis will be there as soon as you load it. So that's something to bear in mind. The other cool thing with this is, say for example, you want to start playlisting tracks. You can now drag and drop those tracks into your main playlists as well. So just bear that in mind. Once you've got them in your collection, you can drag and drop them into playlists. One Very, very important thing with streaming services, and this is all streaming services. If you cancel your subscription, the tracks that you have been playing with will disappear. You do not own this music. This is why I still think downloading music is the best way to go as a DJ. Then you've got your own personal record collection that will never go anywhere. Even if you download tracks from a record pool, those tracks will not go anywhere. With streaming services, okay, as soon as, even if they're embedded in your playlists and you spent all this time curating your playlist based on a streaming service, the minute the subscription is gone, your tracks just disappear. Another limitation of Apple Music is you cannot record, and look at that, that's taking ages to load there. Yeah, so things to bear in mind. You cannot record your DJ sets. So if I try and start recording, invalid operation, rec is disabled when streaming tracks are loaded. And also you cannot use stems. So if I was to, sorry, the audio is going to be bad because I can't record what I'm doing, but it will not do stems. It says there's no analysis information. So do also bear that in mind. So there we go, my demonstration of Apple Music and Rekordbox DJ. Of course, there are benefits and drawbacks to using a service like this. As you saw there was a bit of lag in terms of the analysis, and I have got a very fast internet connection here in the house. Of course, that is just the first time that you load the tracks in, you get that lag. And I do think Apple Music, if you're starting out as a DJ, is potentially a good solution because you have got millions and millions of tracks available at your fingertips for a very, very low price of just £10.99 a month here in the UK. I'm not affiliated with Apple, but you do also have to bear in mind that as soon as you cancel that subscription, all of those tracks in your collection that you've been using to DJ with will be gone. Another thing to bear in mind as well is that you cannot record DJ sets using streaming songs because ultimately you don't own the music, so you can't record any of your DJ sets, and also you cannot use stems. So there are going to be some limitations. I do think if you're starting out, if you're DJing at a house party, or if this is a backup solution for songs that you've missed when you get asked to play them in a club, weddings, etc., then it's going to be a good solution, but it should not be the ultimate solution for all of your tracks as a DJ. That is just my opinion. I still think that downloading tracks and building your own record collection of tracks that you own is still the best way to go as a DJ in 2025. Obviously, I use record pools to DJ with and download all of my tracks. My record pool of choice is still Heavy Hits. Check them out, link in the description down below, and you can try them for your first month for just $5. So it's literally the price of a cup of coffee. But there we go, Apple Music. Hope you found this video useful. Do give this video a thumbs up. If you have made it this far, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers, and I will see you in the next one.